Christine comes to us from John Carpenter, and it is one of my favorite books and movies of all time. At least one of them. Because from book to movie, there's really not much differences. There are some changes, of course, as a movie adaptation would be. But it sticks pretty close to the source material. So, the plot of Christine revolves around Arnie, a nerdy kid, and his best friend. He buys this car named Christine off an old man. It's basically the old man from the very first Home Alone that Macaulay Culkin is afraid of, basically. Just, what, 8 years earlier, if you will? Anyways, after he buys the car, he becomes attached to the car, of course. And, like always, there are bullies in school. So the bullies, of course, messes with Arnie and his friend, and they figure out when Arnie has a car, they go and trashes it. Christine, however, takes it upon herself to kill anyone that gets in her and Arnie's way, and the bullies at school, and Arnie is basically taking the heat for it, even though he's pretty much the innocent person here. You know what I mean? That's basically the plot of this movie. Now, the one main difference is how Christine is. Because in the movie, it makes you think Christine is like that from the get-go, from the moment she comes off the assembly line. But in the book, the former owner of the car who had died takes possession of the car and kills people with the car. In the movie, it's not like that at all, really. So, that's kind of a mishandle. But I kind of like it, even though it's kind of a misstep for the main story. But it's not too much of a get-go. If you've read the book before watching this movie, you'll get it. This is one of those movies where it will actually help you 100% to read the book first and then watch the movie. You don't have to, but if you wanted to make that much more sense, read the book first, because it's a damn good book. Just as this is a damn good movie. And John Carpenter puts his own little spin on it, of course, just like I said. But it doesn't feel like any difference. The minor complaint I have with Christine, the movie takes place in the 70s, but it doesn't really feel like the 70s. You know, it really feels like this movie came out in the 80s, which it did. But, I mean, it looked like it could have been set in the 80s. So they either should have modernized that for the 80s or make it look more 70s. I go with the first opinion. Just make it for the 80s. You know, it came out then, so why not? But I do like the choice of music in here because it's kind of weird to hear the song from Matilda playing in a horror movie. You know what I mean? That's kind of funny. So a song you will put in a child's movie 10, 15 years earlier, was in a horror movie. Or a psychological movie. Weird, but I like it. It makes it that much more, I don't know, how you say oomph to it, you know? So, yeah. The acting is good all around, though. I love the acting in this movie. My introduction to this movie was from my mother, who asked me one night when we were watching TV, this is when I was like, what, 14 years old, back in 2001, hey, can we watch this movie called Christine? I'm like, what is that about? Like, well, I don't want to explain it to you, let's just watch it and see. And I was like, oh, okay, it shouldn't be too bad. It's from the 80s. Now, I watched a lot of stuff from the 80s, but I didn't really trust movies that came out in the 80s. I don't know why. I was silly back then. But I watched it, and damn, I loved it. And I still love Christine to this day. This is one of my favorite psychological horror thrillers out there, especially from the mind of John Carpenter and Stephen King. That's like a big wet dream right there, man. That's like the best meeting you could ever have in your life. But because of the minor nitpicks and stuff like that, I will give Christine an A-. Because Christine is still that damn good. Okay? So yes. Let me know what you guys think about Christine down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Which one you like best? I already know I'm going to see this coming. The book or the movie? Which one has a more impact on you? Let me know what you guys think down below. Catch you guys in the next one.